أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Surah 102, Al-Takathur, Acquisitiveness. Title: The opening word Al-Takathur, Acquisitiveness, constitutes this surah's title. Period of revelation. According to Abu Hayyan and Shawkani, it is generally regarded as a Makkan surah. Imam Suyuti also endorses this view. However, the following reports speak of it as a Medinan surah. Ibn Abi Hatim quotes Abu Buraida's report that it was revealed regarding the two tribes of the Ansar, namely Banu Haritha and Banu al-Harth. Both of them boasted of the glory of their ancestors and did the same in graveyards in each other's presence. This occasioned the revelation of this surah. However, in light of the viewpoints of companions and successors about the circumstantial setting of a surah, this does not conclusively establish that this surah was sent down at that particular time. Rather, it means that this surah applies to the conduct of these two tribes. Imam Bukhari and Ibn Jarir cite Ubay ibn Ka'b's report. We assumed that when the Prophet, peace be upon him, made the statement, "If a man already possesses two valleys full of riches, he will still wish for a third one. Only the dust of the grave can put an end to man's greed," was part of the Quran until Surah Al-Takathur was revealed. This report is taken as proof of the Medinan origin of this surah, for Ubay had embraced Islam during the Medinan period. However, Ubay's report does not clarify the basis on which the companions regarded the Prophet's statement as part of the Quran. It cannot be taken to mean that they considered it as a Quranic verse, for most of them recognized each and every word of the Quran. They could not therefore mistake the Prophet's statement for a Quranic verse. If they took the Prophet's statement as part of the Quran, it might mean that those companions who had accepted Islam in Medina thought it to be a Medinan surah when they heard it for the first time from the Prophet, peace be upon him, and also that the Prophet's statement was derived from the same surah. Ibn Jarir, Tirmidhi, Ibn al-Mundhir, and some other hadith scholars have cited Ali's observation. We had doubts about punishment in the grave until the revelation of Surah Al-Takathur. This too is adduced in support of the Medinan origin of the surah, in that mention was made of the punishment in the grave for the first time in Medina. However, this is not true. The following Makkan verses do speak of this particular mode of divine punishment. Al-An'am 6:93, Al-Nahl 16:28, Al-Mu'minun 23:99-100, and Al-Mu'min 40:45-46. Ali's observation proves at most that this surah was sent down before the above-mentioned surahs, which put the companions' mind at rest about this punishment. Little wonder, then, that the majority of Quran scholars label it as Makkan, a point reinforced further by its contents. It must then have been revealed in the early days of the Makkan period. Subject matter and themes. It warns people against the terrible consequences of materialism and worldliness. Driven by a love of riches, worldly gains, pleasures, and lust for power, man is engrossed until his last breath in acquisitiveness. Man remains preoccupied with cravings for ever greater worldly gains and excelling others in this regard until his death. This makes him oblivious to higher truths. Man is further told that worldly bounties actually constitute a trial for him. He will be called to account for these on the day of judgment.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
Alhaakumut Takathur.
The craving for ever greater worldly gains and to excel others in that regard keeps you occupied.
Hatta zurtumul maqabir.
Until you reach your graves.
Kalla sawfa ta'lamun.
Nay, you will soon come to know. Nay, you will soon come to know. The word soon here refers to the hereafter as well as death. This because everyone learns no sooner that he dies, whether the occupations in which he engaged himself throughout life were a means of happiness and success or of misfortune and failure.
ثم كلا سوف تعلمون.
Nay, again, you shall soon come to know.
كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين.
Nay, would that you knew with certainty of knowledge what your attitude will lead to, you would never have acted the way you do.
لترون الجحيم.
You will surely end up seeing hell.
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
Again, you shall most certainly end up seeing it with absolute certainty.
ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Then, on that day, you will be called to account for all the bounties you enjoyed.